This Present Darkness by Frank Peretti tells the story of the small town of Ashton being taken over by unseen evil. The town seems irrelevant to the naked eye, but in the spiritual world, the town marks a battleground. The devil wants to use it for his devious plot and world domination, but the angels in the town are determined to protect the town as well as the few remaining Christians. Christian fiction writer Peretti uses the story to open up the minds of others to understand that there is a spiritual war going on around us that we are unable to see. Personally, this is my all-time favorite novel, simply because it gave me a whole new perspective in being a Christian. I have always gone to church and understood what being a Christian means, but I've never considered the fact that there is a constant battle going on around me. Since it is something that we cannot see, I understand how it can be hard to imagine or even believe. But this novel puts everything into perspective and shines light on the unseen. I think Peretti did an amazing job at explaining the importance of prayer because throughout the novel, prayer is what powered the angels and allowed them to eventually defeat Satan. This is another part that influenced me greatly because I never truly understood the power of prayer until I finished reading this book. It dives deep into why prayer is important, how it can affect our daily lives, and why we should constantly be in prayer. Choosing to adapt this book into a trailer was the second easiest decision behind choosing the book itself. Growing up, I have always been interested in cameras and computers and putting little videos together of family films. With my little sister and cousins, I would make a movie and end up being the director, producer, cameraman, and editor, so it was very obvious to me that a movie trailer would be perfect for this project. Plus, this book has not been made into a movie yet, so I was able to make it original to myself and what I thought the movie might look like. Choosing the characters was a little more difficult because I wanted to be consistent, but finding scenes that do exactly what you want them to with the exact same actor is a lot harder than you may think. Also, there aren't any Christian movies that have visible angels and demons, so I had to choose more robotic-looking characters than I would have liked, as well as the scene with Gandalf. Finding the human characters was a lot easier because I have watched a lot of Christian movies, and Alex Kendrick played a large role in a majority of them, so it was simple finding clips of him saying lines that related to my trailer. It wasn't hard deciding that he was going to represent my main character. I had to leave a few aspects out because I don't have control over the actors, so there were some things that couldn't be said in the trailer that could have helped tie in more characters. Another reason I made it into a movie trailer is because I know some people do not enjoy reading, so a majority of their knowledge comes from movies. Because I believe this book has such a strong message that everybody should see, making it into a movie would reach an even greater audience. And on top of that, it would add an entertaining factor to those that have already read the book. In order to draw in a larger audience, I made the trailer appropriate enough for adolescents to watch, but interesting enough for adults to watch as well. In the actual movie, there would be scenes that adults would be able to understand the deeper meaning, but younger kids would not. So this would allow for a good opportunity for families to connect by talking about the deeper meaning. Overall, I would highly suggest this book, or movie if it ever is actually made, to anybody whether if they believed it or not. Some things are harder to understand just outright, so when put into a fictional situation where one can see somebody else living it out, it can be easier to grasp. During my adaptation, I made sure to keep track of any movie I used a clip from so I could give credit at the end of my trailer.